Hey guys, just before we begin the video, just these are the new upload times that we'll be following from the 8th of December. That's the 8th of December. So I'll see you on the future videos. But right now, let's get back to the video. Hello and welcome to CellySZN. It's your boy Celly and I'm back for another review. But before I get on with that review, don't forget to like this video and share this video and smash, destroy, kill, annihilate that subscribe button, hit the bell notification button. All of these buttons are out of the way. Let's just get into the match because what I want to talk about is I want to show you guys how Arteta's tactics has actually removed the element of luck from our game and has made everybody be accountable for what they gain from or lose for the match. To better illustrate this, I'm just going to go straight into the stats. So this is the expected league table in comparison. Now, when this league table was done, it was done before this game. It was done right after United. So this table is very realistic because where we are, 8th and 9th, it shows that everything that we've done up to this point is reflected, even right down to the goal difference. In fact, we've gained 2 more goals. The point of this table is to show how a team is expected to perform. So, for example, Manchester United are 4th now, but in real life they're 2nd. So, what this suggests is that Man United have had a bit of luck, and pretty soon their quality will begin to show, and they will come down from that. Likewise with Brighton. Brighton are supposed to be 7th based on their performances, based on everything they've done. However, they have wasted a lot of their chances. So this shows that they are in real big trouble. Both are not good. It's better for you to be exactly where you're supposed to be. So when I look at Mikel Arteta and what he has been able to do, it's incredibly difficult to assess because he has made a lot of changes tactically that the team had to learn from last season. These tactical changes has involved, I believe he's now gone. He went from he always lined up in a double pivot, but is the way he wants the players to play in a single pivot. I went into this. I touched on it briefly. I'm not going to touch on it too much here. I'm going to have to do a separate video because it will be way too long. But the point still stands. Because in the Newcastle video, I believe it was the Newcastle video. In the Newcastle video, I touched on how the double pivots would cover will go and cover the center backs in the roles that they had. So it brought a lot of solidarity, a lot of composure. It added a bit more solidarity to the back. However, what he had to try and get right was the transitions because it's incredibly hard to do that. Now, I don't know the exact mechanics because I don't have experience as a manager. I don't know, but from what I'm seeing, face value, everyone has to run. Like that's what Arteta has always been expected, and it's something that is reflected in the way that we press. It's something that is reflected in the passes per defensive record, which actually shows our press. So I'm literally just gonna go into that because again, we didn't press them high, and that's really because they didn't press us. So when we don't have to press, we don't. You know what I mean? Wolves are a team that play with a double pivot and with an actual double pivot, so they don't do anything to try and be smart, to try and counteract that. They stick with that. I haven't noticed Ruben Neves or João Moutinho do anything special apart from just sit and hold. So they can't really press as intensively because it will be disjointed. There will be the gap between the attacking midfielder and the 2 pivots. It has to be balanced. To better illustrate the way that we press, I've got this highlight here, and it's pretty much going to show what I mean by how much passes that they're actually allowed to make. So here is the first highlight that pretty much shows that. Look, they made 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 passes, It's still 3 passes, 4 passes now. And this is when we start getting tight. So, that's 5 passes we have allowed them to play. That speaks to the passes per defensive stat. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see, like, we let them do that because it's quite simple. They are going to try and move those pivots up to support Podence and pretty much bring balance to the side. This is why we didn't actually press them, because at one point, these pivots are going to have to move up to support the attack and build the attack. So we soak up that pressure and then we try and play on a counter. So we're going to play on. They still made 7 passes, remember? So we haven't pressed them at all. We're still not pressing. We're just blocking out the zones. That's 9 passes now, I believe. Should be 9 passes. And then this is when we press, cut out a chance. The next highlight really speaks to what I'm talking about as well, because look at this. Yeah, they try to cross it in and now we're on a counter. Suarez is set off. They're in trouble. Where are their pivots? I mean, let's be honest. That may have been a throw-in, but that's what we have allowed them to do. We have soaked up all that pressure and only close them down so that we can force like a set piece to happen. And during that set piece, those pivots will have to move out regardless. That is smart. Honestly, this was when we were down to 10 men as well. So we were down to 10 men and this is how we are still pressing. And we looked dangerous. And this is why I couldn't fault the boys, because we looked dangerous when we were going forward. And they done every dirty trick by the book to stop us. Next highlight I'm going to show is how we were efficient when we were down on 10 men. Arteta has a plan B. The plan B here was, okay, we're down 10 men. We're going to go into a 4-4-1 with a false 9. These two, Pepe and Saka became inside forward. And literally, that was Arteta's plan B. As you can see in the match here, literally, plan B was make everything balanced. Everything was about balance. So 4-4-2 is the most balanced. So even if you go down to 9 men, 8 men in this case, you are still going to be balanced because, well, end of the day, they have to try and go through a 4-man midfield that is sitting back, which, in all fairness, that 4-man midfield can always interchange, it's easier for them to be dynamic than a 5-man midfield, because a 5-man midfield is losing a lot in attack. So this formation was really suited to actually soak up the pressure. I loved Arteta's plan B, and his plan B was, I love Arteta's plan B, and he began pressing intensely from the beginning. Like I said, it's only the 50th minute, and look at how we're trying to now, compared to how before we let them play 1 or 2 passes, 9. We let them play up to 9 passes. Only 3 passes has been made so far. Like the highlight was showing Aubameyang warming up, but I believe around 2 or 3 passes were made at a time, and I think this is the 4th one. And during the 5th one, that pressure has forced a lot of errors. This is why, and that was after the goal as well, which I'm not going to show, because come on. I just got to say this. The last time that we lost the game, it wasn't that much of a sting, because in my head, I was like, we didn't deserve that. Because in my head, I could argue and say they got lucky because the goal was really messy. Oh, it wasn't, there were so many things I could say to calm myself down. But that strike from João Moutinho, oh boy, you can't argue with that. How are you going to argue with that? So this defeat, I had to firm a lot harder because we didn't do anything wrong. But without sounding like a broken record, let me go back into the highlight. So, as I said, we forced the error. And this was the next point I wanted to make. This is peak Arteta. I'm joking. It's not peak Arteta. He's just starting. But he's starting to get more confident. He's starting to get more into his feet. And I love the discipline. The discipline that is now going to the squad is going back to the point I was alluding to earlier, the point I was saying before that he needed time to get his tactics in, to get his ideas in, because he changed a lot since last season. When he came in last season, the tactics he had was pretty much damage limitation. He wasn't doing anything he's doing this season. The tactic he had was like trying to continue from what Emery done. He actually hadn't changed much from Emery. He played, Emery was playing a lot of 3 at the back, 5 in midfield, or 3-4-3. He was always switching with that. So when he came in, he literally did the same thing. But have you seen him done it since the start of the season? He hasn't. He switched from that to a back 4, which is what he actually preferred. He has had to do that. That's pretty smart. You can't expect to instill your philosophy halfway through the season. And I'm really happy that his tactics are now coming to show, because this is why we have not performed all season, because we still had to acquiesce or change things around from Emery. He came in mid-season. We couldn't expect anything else but apart from just finishing it off and just starting afresh. Him winning a FA Cup with tactics he wasn't really familiar with. Well, he may have been familiar, but the point I'm making is him winning the FA Cup with makeshift tactics is a baller, mate. Like that is a manager for the future. Like legit, we've got a good one in our hands here. Because what I'm watching and everything I'm seeing, like the next point is going to show you what I mean. He decided to play for set pieces so that he can move his attack forward. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the red card because I'm pretty sure a lot of you may have covered it now. But I want to show how we set up after we gone down to 9 men. Literally, this was the setup. This was literally the setup. 4-4. No one up top. This was the setup. That's it. They just said, come. And this was the game. This was how we said. This was literally, we made it balanced. Everyone was covered. The fullbacks were covered. These guys had to step up. They know that if they step up, there's a more chance that on the counter attack, they're rapid. Saka and Aubameyang are rapid. I love the substitutions today simply because Pepe didn't deserve to come off, but Aubameyang is faster than him. Saka, again, I thought he should have come off to be at least for the next match, because he just came back from injury. But it makes sense why they were still on the pitch, because their pace, if these guys, like Ruben Neves and John Martini were to step up to try and, gain some more balance, which they have to do, because this gap in midfield, I'm going to show you quickly, this gap in midfield is not good. You're not supposed to have this much gap between your midfield and your attack. That is telling you that we are controlling that gap, and no one can go past. And they literally pass like this for the entire, like they were literally passing like this and trying to go past. And all we did was just literally move like a wall, move like a bus. It is a park the bus tactic. And that's probably our plan G. It is that, but where are they going? Like teams usually go 4-5-1 or like sorry, no. When I say 4-5-1, they usually overload the defense. Like not 4-5-1, sorry, 5 at the back. They usually overload the defense. They usually go too defensive and invite too much pressure without really thinking about the midfield game. Well, at least in my own opinion. But from what I've seen there, Arteta is like, we cannot lose that midfield battle. So he took off Partey, in which he's a defensive midfielder. This was smart, because that would have disrupted the balance. We would have been way too defensive. Bringing Emile Smith-Rowe further deep and allowing Xhaka to actually organize and just make sure that everyone is just in that line. I don't mind losing 2-1 with 9 men. I'd rather that than 9-0. It's just that real. That's all I've got to, that's literally all I gotta say. That's literally the video. I loved this performance. I loved what the boys actually did. and how they responded to going down to 10 to 9 men, because that is just demoralizing, especially when the first red card wasn't deserved. The second red card is a result of the first red card, because I don't think Leno would have panicked like that if there was nothing on Adama Traore. Yes, he's rapid, but he would have but I know he's a sweeper keeper as well, but I don't know. He could have exercised a bit of caution there, especially being down to 10 men. But apart from that being said, I can't fault the performance. Even Runarsson came on and he actually made a. I mean, come on, it's a Kepa effect. It is a Kepa effect, because we have seen him blunder too many times. So we're now making him seem like the best goalkeeper in the world just because he made a couple of saves. But the point I'm trying to make is, Runarsson, even him coming on, we didn't even look like we were going to concede a goal. And hats off to the guy. He knows what he's doing. So I'm not afraid for the Villa game. The Villa game, I'm actually even more optimistic. Even though we got Matt Ryan in goal, we don't have Leno. I hope that red card the appeal does work, and we can get Leno back into the team straight away. I really hope so. But if not, I have more confidence that Arteta would create a tactic that would actually protect the goalkeeper. I won't be surprised, because he has created a tactic that protected David Luiz for this long. He's been David Luiz last season compared to this season. Have you not seen the changes? Like, it's unreal how much he's actually improved under, it's just two different managers. Emery couldn't get the best out of him, but Arteta did. It's unfortunate, though. It is unfortunate that that happened. That ended up happening. But there is a point to be made that it was supposed to happen, because he's made that mistake before this season, and the stats has accounted for that mistake. That's why we're exactly where we are. The stats reflect that. I'm not surprised that he made that. That mistake is actually, it makes sense. It makes sense why we would drop points, because realistically we should be on the stats table. Let me go back to the stats table quickly. Realistically, it says we should be 8th and we're 9. That's why. That's actually why. That's why we're 9th. Because he makes those little, not just him. I believe Maitland-Niles made a couple of mistakes. It's just those little things that has brought us a little bit down, but he knows that, and Arteta's tried to fix that over the course of the season, especially by using the double pivots as makeshift centre backs. That's been his strategy. That's pretty much all I wanted to say, and just like that, I'm gonna bring this video to a close. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of this? What do you think of the match? What did you make of the red cards? Personally, I don't really care. To be honest, red card or not, it shouldn't change a game so much that you lose 9-0. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye.